Today we are going to discuss about the topic of role of media in development communication, and our subject is development communication. First of all, we will discuss and talk about the development communication. Development communication basically refers to the use of communication to facilitate the social development. Stakeholders in development communication engages policymakers, establishes conducive environments, assesses risks and opportunities, and promotes information exchange to create positive social change via sustainable development. In this, basically, we can easily communicate for the development countries. If I communicate not comfortable for helping these things, so we can't able to help anything anymore. Basically, we should have to communicate for development nations, development problems, and in other basic risks. So in the next slide, construction of national, regional, and diplomatic identity. Promotion of cultural experience and exchange, responding to cultural imperialism, and promotion the defenses of rights and citizens. Basically, development communication techniques include information, dissemination, and education, behavior change, social marketing, social mobilization, media advocacy, communication for social change, and community participation. Without the participation of social and community, we can't do anything. We can't proper practitioner experiences, different kinds of activities, and different kinds of techniques. We can't do this without the performances, without the entries, without the help of society and community. Basically, the art and science of human communication linked to a society's planned transformation from a state of poverty to one dynamic socioeconomic growth that makes for greater quality and the larger unfolding of individual potential. Now, what is development? Development support communication is a discipline in development planning and implementation in which more adequate account is taken of human behavioral factors in the design of development project and their objectives. If I'm talking about a two-way process of sharing ideas and knowledge using a range of communication tools and approaches that empower individuals and community to take actions to improve their lives. Basically, development communication as a planned and systematic application of communication resources, channels, approaches, and strategies to support the goal of socio-economic, political, and cultural development. Used to be about using the resource available to your growth market share, increase exports, and other measures leading to more profits, changed in 1987 with the introduction of sustainability popularized by the Brundtland Report. So in this, we can easily help and talk about the development. The practice of development communication began in the 1940s, but widespread application came about after World War II. The advent of communication sciences in the 1950s included recognition of the field as an academic discipline led by Daniel Lerner, Wilbur Schramm, and Everett Rogers. These are the most popular personalities of 19th time. They help our countries from developed to develop, from developing to develop. Developing countries is that kind of countries in which they are underdeveloped, or developed country is that kind of countries that are properly developed with fully facilities, fully great infrastructures, fully rules and regulations, fully protections, and their kind of peoples don't any fear about the night and the day. So both Children's and Quibble stressed that DC includes all means of communication. In this, DC means development communication, ranging from mass media, from people to people. In this, I'm just giving you the small example of the international communication, the intellectual field that deals with issues of mass communication at a global level is sometimes also called development communication. This field includes the history of telegraph, submarine communication cables, shortwave, and international broadcasting, satellite televisions, and global flows of mass media. Now, our next is sustainable development. Sustainable development basically is that kind of development where something can be sustained. It is an organizing principle for meeting human development goals while also sustaining the ability of natural systems to provide the natural resources and ecosystem services on which the economy and society depend. The desired result is a state of society where living conditions and resources are used to continue to meet human needs without undermining the integrity and stability of the natural system. Is it true that we can't done and we can't do anything without sustainability or without independent or dependent? Because nowadays we are fully dependent on our society, on our economy, on this earth, and on the country. I'm giving you a small example that Children can fully depend upon their parents, and the parents similarly dependent on the grandparents. So in this, all body can dependent in another way. Sustainable development can be defined as development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Sustainable development is defined as development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. The needs of the world's poor need to have overriding priority, and the world's environment is exhaustible and care needs to be taken in its use. While the modern concept of sustainable development is derived mostly from the 1987 in Brundtland report, it is also rooted in the earlier ideas about sustainable forest management and environmental concerns. In this, sustainable development goals address the global challenges including poverty, inequality, climate change, environmental degradation, peace, and justice. These all things we can't find anywhere. We need a peace without having high much headache, but we can't. We need a justice, but nobody can help. So, with the help of, without anybody, how we can take and how we can find a route. Sustainable development has its roots in ideas about sustainable forest management, which were developed in Europe during the 70th and 80th century. But we have four dimensions to sustainable development: society, environment, culture, and economy. If these things are stable, then our country will definitely develop. But is it not possible as such? We can say it very easily, which are intertwined, not separate. Sustainability is that kind of paradigm for thinking about the future in which environmental, social, and economic considerations are balanced in the pursuit of an improved quality of life. For example, a prosperous society relies on a healthy environment to provide food and resources, safe drinking water, and clean air for its citizens. Sustainable development is defined as development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. The needs of the world's poor need to have overriding priority, and the world's environment is exhaustible and care needs to be taken in its use. One might ask, what is the difference between sustainable development and sustainability? Sustainability is often thought of as a long-term goal, or while sustainable development refers to the many processes and pathways to achieve, like sustainable agriculture, forestry, sustainable production, consumption, good government, research and technology transfer, education and training, etc. Now we will talk about the media. Basically, nowadays, media is a very powerful platform in which they can do anything, anywhere, anytime, or in any condition. Media are the communication outlets or tools used to store and deliver information or data. The term refers to components of the mass media communication industry, such as print media, publishing, the news media, photography, cinema, broadcasting, radio, television, digital media, and advertising. The term media is its modern application related to communication channels, was first used by Canadian communication theorist Marshall McLuhan, who started Encountered Blast in 1954. The media are not toys. They should not be in the hands of Mother Ghost and Peter Pan executives. The development of early writing and paper enabling longer distance communication systems such as mail. With the help of mail, we can do anything right, and we can help with the mail, we can write anything or deliver it anywhere in any condition. But we can't do like that because media really a very plural form of communication and easily helpful in development communication. Media, as we know it, is based on communication, the sending and receiving of meaning through mass media messages. Communication-based technologies have been creating change in the techno-economic paradigm and affecting how business and institutions operate and how humans across the globe related to each other. In ancient Egypt and China, human messenger on foot or horseback were a common means of communication. Technology plays a big part in modern communication, innovation, the creation of new technology and ways of looking at the world. Now, in the next slide, discuss about mass media. Mass media basically refers to a diverse array of media technologies that reach a large audience via mass communication. The technologies through which this communication takes place include a variety of outlets. The term mass media has had to undergo a few reevaluations, particularly since the explosion of digital communication in the late 20th and 21st centuries. Media transmits the information electronically via such as films, radio, recorded music, or television. Similarly, mass media technology means that is intended to reach a mass audience. It is the primary means of communication used to reach the vast majority of the general public. Mass media has become classified into 8 distinct areas with possibility for more being added in the future. They are all characterized by the content or messages being able to reach a wide number of receivers at the same time. With the help of mass media, we can do anything. We can do our shopping, we can do purchasing products, we can help in the projects, we can making a creative charts, we can watch a television serial, we can help anyone for money transfer and anything. Now is a print. Print media basically one of the oldest and basic form of mass communication. It includes newspapers, weeklies, magazines, monthlies, and other forms of printed journals like books, brochures, pamphlets, flyers, code rings, banners, and so on. The contribution of print media in providing information and transfer of knowledge is remarkable. Like billboards, posters, trade magazines, print media selections, letters, emails, and so on. Books used to be handwritten by monks until Gutenberg's 50th century invention of foundry cast movable metal type, known as the printing press, which allowed for newspapers and mass book printing. The result was higher literary rates and the declassification of knowledge, which used to be strictly for the rich and religious. Print media, which includes the printed material disseminated through the mail, pamphlets, flyers, bumper stickers, periodicals, websites, electronic mail, yard sign, and outdoor advertising facilities. Now, a cultural imperialism. Cultural imperialism basically that kind of platform with the help of mass communication context. Explanation of theory. Cul- Cultural imperialism theory states that Western nations dominate the media around the world, which in return has a powerful effect on third world countries or cultures by imposing and them Western views and therefore destroying their native cultures. Cultural imperialism can refer to either the forced accumulation of a subject population or to the voluntary embarrassing of a foreign culture by individuals who do so of their own free will. In international communication theory and research, cultural imperialism theory argued that audiences across the globe are heavily affected by media. Messages emanating from the Western individualized countries. Basically, cultural imperialism in anthropology, sociology, and ethics. The imposition by one usual politically or economically dominated community of various aspects of its own culture onto another non-dominant country. It is cultural in that the costumes, traditions, religion, language, social and moral norms, and other aspects of the imposing community are distinct from. Now, research basically research is a that kind of thing which it is very helpful for development communication because with the help of research we can find a loopholes, we can find the effect, we can find something new and anything else. Research is defined as the creation of new knowledge or the use of existing knowledge in a new and creative way so as to generate new concepts, methodologies, and understanding. In research, a 1995 study by Hilary Brown on the impact of American media on Jamaican youth revealed that while exposure to it would result in a wider, deeper, and the exposure is also more likely to put a higher value on American living. Basically, research is a very careful and organized study or gathering of information about a specific topic. I'm giving you an example. Research is a project where scientists try to find a cure for AIDS. And another is information. A high school student tracked down information for a school report. In the next, globalization. Globalization basically means the removal of border. Without borders, different cultures will be mixing, and without knowledge, there will be no tolerance. The role of media is this goal is to facilitate knowledge of events and people of other countries so that regardless of religion, skin color, values, or the common human implications. Globalization is the process by which the world is becoming increasingly interconnected as a result of massively increased trade and cultural exchange. It is also the word used to describe the growing interdependence of the world's economies, cultures, and populations. Now is the human rights. Human rights basically are that kind of rights where nobody can catch our rights. Is it is a right of mine that we can educate it? Is it a right of mine that we can't do any work under age 18 minus? It is my right that I can choose my life partner. It is also my right that I can live in any religion. Our place of residence, our sex, our nations, our ethics, our color, our language, or anything. It is my right that I can choose anything for my perfectness. Like right to speech and expressions, right to live anywhere, right to education, like that kinds of similarly in other rights that nobody can catch from me because it is our birth rights. Now, media's role in protecting rights. Nowadays, media is a very powerful platform in which they can easily protect our rights. The media can also help to mobilize through the proliferation of images and even the help of popular figures such as Hollywood actors and actresses. Similarly, this protection is just not for the high popularized people, but also for a normal citizen that lives in this society. So, media can help us to highlight their rights or protecting our rights as well. Is it not possible for a big gadget? Is it just as the knowledge, understanding, a threat, or awareness? In the next, how the media help. They organize protest through the same media with the help of television, internet, radio, online supports, other kinds of online platforms like WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram. If I'm talking about the print media, that newspapers, magazines, brochures, flyers, pamphlets, hoardings, banners, or if I'm talking about the online, that we have internet also. So thank you so much. I hope you clear about the all context and definition characterized about development communication.